up, I never really had any support system in terms of like, Vivian, let's talk about it. Vivian, this is a safe space. You can come and talk about whatever it is that is going through your mind. I never had that support system where I could show up and be fully aware of what has been going through my mind. And I've gotten so used to like holding all those emotions, heavy emotions in my head. The loss of my mom took me years to really fully understand what really had happened. Even the absence of my father as well, it took me many years to realize what had happened. And even what I went through, it took me many years to get to the point where I'm like, okay, Vivian, I need help. It took me over 37 years to finally be like, you know what, Vivian, enough is enough. You can understand how serious that is. 37 years of finally stopping, finally realizing I need help. And I'm sure a lot of you that are listening today, probably it has taken you over 40 years or 50 years. But you know what? It's not even about the time that matters, it's about actually getting the healing work done. Whether that is seeing a therapist, whether that is, seeing a coach or whatever you feel is more comfortable for you, you need to be in that state of healing. And when you are in that state of healing, it doesn't matter whether it's a year of healing, 2 years of healing, 3 years or 4 years, there is going to be setbacks. And there will be moments where we find ourselves going backwards. And I found myself this week and in the last 2 weeks going backwards on myself. And I had to stop. When I realized that I was losing myself again, when I realized that I wasn't looking after myself in the way that I need to look after myself, I realized that emotionally there is a lot that I'm carrying. And so a few things that I can think about that has really been wearing me down in the last few weeks is my job. I work part-time. As a content creator, it's not easy to you know get going when it comes to like fully becoming a content creator. It takes a while depending on the type of content that you're also pushing forward. Other contents are a lot easier and you can literally get so many followers, so many listeners, like within a month or 3 months. But content such as myself, where we're really talking about trauma, healing, it can be a bit uncomfortable to people. So, like, the engagement or the following can take a lot longer. So, it means that, like, getting a sponsorship might not come as quick as I initially wanted it to be, but that is fine, right? So, my aim is not really to get sponsors as the main priority. My priority is to help you guys heal. That is my priority. And so what I decided to do was get a part-time job, literally 22 hours, that will support me because I do I do have responsibilities. I do have a house that I need to maintain. I do have bills. I do have things that I need to do. And at this moment in time, I'm just about surviving, guys. That could also be another emotional stress that a lot of us go through that we're not even aware. You know, where you're working so hard and you're barely getting the minimal. Like that can be really frustrating. Like you're finding yourself going to work every single day, but the finances they are not there to show. That could put a strain in somebody's emotions. And so we need to make sure that whatever jobs that we find ourselves doing, that they're not gonna strain us to the point where we burn out or we get sick. Like it has to be jobs that we love to do. So my part-time job, I made sure that it was something that I enjoy doing. I'm a coach by nature, so my part-time role is career development coach, which means I'm supporting people within the community between 16 and, you know, over over 40s as well. And so it really works really well for me as well. I like the flexibility as well, working from home, and then some days I do go into the office as well. It's only 3 days: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, which means Thursday, Friday, that is content creation, podcasting, being interviewed. But also on top of that, like this year has been another added layer to my workload. So I'm an up and coming author. Like, I'm so excited about this. I started writing my book, The Invisible Girl: Breaking the Silence of Trauma, last year. It took me a good 6 months or 7 or 8 months even to get to the point where my book is finally done. And guys, like the feeling of holding my first draft copy of my book the other day, it was amazing. It was so fulfilling. But there's pressures on that as well, right? So that could also play a big emotional weight on me when it comes to writing. And if you're writing and you're self-publishing as well, you don't have like a proper publisher that will do the other stuff for you, that is a lot to take on just one person. And doing interviews for the podcast and uploading them, and yeah, it's been a lot. And then obviously family stuff as well has been happening behind the scene. And I'm the type of person, when I'm going through that, or that overload emotions or that stress, I don't know what to do with that. Like I said, growing up, I never had anyone that would tell me that, Vivian, it is okay. Let's talk about it. Vivian, it is okay to feel the way you feel. Vivian, it is okay to be overwhelmed, but let's talk about it. Like, I never really had anyone talking to me about things, or talking through things. I never really did have that support. And so growing up, I carried that with me. And so what that means is that when something heavy is happening, it takes me a while to even realize, Vivian, like, you're going through the most right now. Take a moment. And again, for me as well, I don't know about you, but when I'm going through it, like when life is so hard, when there's just a lot happening and I'm so stressed, I emotionally eat. That's when I know. Those are usually the first signs that, okay, Vivian, let's regroup, let's reset. What is going on with you? Literally, growing up, that was the only way I was able to comfort myself, through food, whenever I was going through heavy stuff. And that could also be avoidance as well, as in, like, I don't really want to talk about it right now. I didn't even know what I need to be even be talking about. So the best thing to do is eat. And some people, they self-destruct. Some people, they fall into addictions. People that are going through stress find themselves drinking again, find themselves smoking heavily, find that they find themselves also being addicted to sex on a daily basis. Like, we find ways that are so unhealthy to distract ourselves from really feeling the weight of that emotion. And I want to talk about that today because I feel like it's so important for us to really deal with what is happening rather than avoiding it by self distracting. And today I realized that I realized yesterday even that, Vivian, take a moment, take time out. You're clearly not doing well right now. You're clearly taking a lot of responsibilities that you don't need to do right now. You clearly don't even have that support system that you need right now. And instead of avoiding what is happening, let's deal with it before I go backwards, because I have been doing so well with my healing journey, looking after myself, and choosing me. I don't know about you, but I'm the type of person, when I find that I'm going backwards on myself, I start people pleasing again. I start seeking validation again. I start to feel like there's nobody there again, because I'm focusing on others more than I'm focusing on myself. And I find myself, like I said, eating rubbish. For the last week, 7 days in a row, I have been eating ice cream and cookies. That is not cool. And for somebody who is proud to have diabetic, that shouldn't be the thing. I come from a family of people like my father's side who has diabetic. And so I need to make sure I am watching what I'm eating. And I was doing that. I was making sure that I'm in a place where I am watching what I'm eating. I was looking after myself. I was exercising, and I was taking a lot of walks as well. Like, I was really doing really well. But when I'm so stressed and a lot is happening, sometimes I don't know how to deal with that. Are you like me? Are you somebody that when you're stressed, you find yourself going back to old habits? Or are you somebody that can easily come back to themselves? Because I can easily get so lost. And by the time I realize, I have lost it completely. And so I need to keep checking myself. I need to I need to keep resetting. And guys, it is okay for you to continue to reset. Whenever you find that you're going backwards to your old habits, reset. Start again. Refocus. And if you find yourself that you are you're bending, you're working so hard to the point of burnout, stop. Reset. If you find yourself that you're eating a lot of rubbish food because of emotional comfort, stop before it becomes something worse. So, how do we then get back to that place of being ourselves again? And this is what I have done this weekend.